So in the first lesson of this course, we will be learning about the estimates with the types of estimates and what are the various aspects. So what is estimation? Is the first question we should answer. So estimation in general terms, in the dictionary terms, it's just a fine art of guessing. It's an estimate, it's an approximation to certain quantities that we need to understand or know before we take any task. So estimation is the process of calculating quantities and the cost of various items which are required in connection with the work. Okay. Estimates are required to be done. Those can be for cost, those can be for time. There are time estimates which we undertake in the project planning and the scheduling works, and the cost estimate, which is useful to understand the financial aspect or the budget of the project. Right? So estimation is nothing but it's a process of calculating the quantities and the cost of various items required in connection with the work. The items can be resources such as manpower, labors, they can be machinery or raw materials. Now it is prepared by calculating the quantities from the dimensions of the drawing or various items required to complete the project, and it is usually multiplied by the unit cost of the item concerned. So in construction estimates, the cost estimates which we take, it is generally prepared with the help of the drawings, the architectural plans or the structural plans. And there are various quantities or items such as the concrete, there can be steel, there will be door windows, frames, finishes, etc. And based on the dimensions given in the drawing, we will be calculating the total quality and we have the unit cost. And when we multiply the total quantity with the unit cost, we get the total cost. So this is just the basic of your estimate. Now, why do we require estimates? What is the purpose of doing the estimation? The first is to assess the volume of the work involved in the project. So when we do any quantity estimation, we will understand how much quantity of certain item is used in this project. To arrange and organize material, manpower, equipment, tools and plant necessary for the project. Only when we know the quantity of certain material, the amount of labor required, or where the machines are to be required, all these quantification will help us in planning and arranging the site, material, manpower, or equipment. Then it is required to fix the project completion period. So based on the estimate, you can fix the completion period, because only after we know that if we require this much manpower, we can finish the task in so and so duration. So it will help in the scheduling and the planning process. And the next step is to ascertain the fund required for completing the project. So before undertaking any sort of project, even before the drawings are fully prepared, say a builder or the stakeholder will always require an estimate to have an idea whether he will be able to fund the entire project, what will be the profit or loss, and in how many years he will be able to have the profit back from his investment. So that is why they require the estimates. Next thing is to justify the investment from the cost benefit ratio. This is what we just discussed. Then to invite tenders and preparation of BOQ, that is bill of quantities. So when a project is decided, usually tenders are floated, and to prepare these tenders, an estimate and the bill of quantities is required to have a rough idea for the bidder of the required quantum of work to be undertaken. Then, to obtain necessary administrative approval, the technical sanction and arrangement and allocation of funds required for the project. Only when an estimate is available, a decision to go ahead with the project or to not go ahead with the project can be made by the stakeholders or by the management or the owner. Which is why before every project an estimate needs to be prepared. Then you need it for the valuation of an existing property. Say if you want to sell your own property, even then you require to have an estimate because the interior might have been changed from the initial work that was already present, or the value would have been depreciated. All these aspects of valuation we will be discussing in the last module, which is entirely taken for valuation purpose.